All right, everyone, welcome to Mind of A Genius. This is another episode, and today I'm here in Ghana, and I am talking to some of the top minds, people I obviously consider geniuses in their fields, right? And I have with me here none other than Kojo Soboh, and I am very excited to talk to him because we're going to have a great conversation. Fun fact, I am a proud Absunian, and Kojo is a proud Absunian as well. So definitely looking forward to it. And Kojo, thank you very much for taking time to be on here with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, of course. So let's kind of dive into it.
And to learn that you're an Absunian even makes it more exciting.
Right? So, yeah. You know, just so you know, St. Augustine's College is the best secondary school in Ghana.
No cap.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, no one can come for us on that one. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So, Kojo, I've read a little bit about you, right? And I've seen what you're doing with Carbon AV and also with ME Africa. Take me back to how you started off and even just your background. Who is Kojo Soboh in the first place?
So Kojo Soboh is a young man who is passionate about excellence and who is passionate about inspiring greatness in Africa. And so in everything that I do in my entrepreneurial journey, in every project that I am lucky enough to handle, I try to do it execute it as excellently as possible, so that people watching or people observing would know that it is possible to do great things in Africa. So when you look at the EMY Africa Awards that we do annually, and thank God we are 10 years this year, and all the other complementary events that I do in Ghana and abroad, and even the EMY Africa magazine, you realize that the standards are really high, and so that is what I'm passionate about. I believe that it's important we do that. We owe it to the youth that we set standards that they can also emulate, because one of the things that I always, when I get the opportunity to speak, I say is that we are being mediocrity is one of the biggest things that is the issue in Africa. And so if you want to do well, you just have to raise your standards a little bit. And so I think that's basically it.
I love it. But I guess growing up, did you always think this is something you wanted to do, or did the path kind of gear off a little bit?
Okay, so my reasoning is very much eclectic. My standards are as high as it is because of where I grew up, because of the community that I grew in. I grew up in a mining community, in a mining quarters, or how would I put it? Residential area. Mm-hmm. And we're just a few blacks. It was very multicultural. So I had friends from Australia, friends from South Africa.
Here in Ghana?
Here in Ghana, in Bogosu in the Western region. I had friends from Canada. So I grew up with all these people. So I had the worldview at a very young age, and then also the content that I was exposed to, because it was a senior staff, the senior most executives where we stayed, and so because we were in Bogoso and the residential area is set up in some forest somewhere, they made sure that we had everything that would make us comfortable. One of the things that we had was DSTV at a very young age. So I started watching all these foreign contents, like MTV based, the KTVs, all those things at a very young age. So those were those content was what I was exposed to. So that is my standard. And so whatever I do, I have that in mind.
That's incredible. I've heard of Bogos. I've never been. Yeah. I'm from the Western region myself. I'm from Seshi, right?
Okay. So you go through Bogos before you get to Seshi. Maybe you've gone through Bogos before.
Maybe. I would love to say I don't recognize most of the towns, right? But I recognize the name. So as soon as you mention it, it just clicked for me, right? And I appreciate you sharing that. So I reckon that childhood experience really shaped the way
It
you
did.
thought
It did.
early on,
It did.
right?
It did.
And so you went to school in Bogoso.
Yes,
Is that
yes. So the mining, the company had an international school, and of course, some of these my friends from these countries also attended some of these schools.
wow?
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you were out there attending school. You went to an international school, so you
It
know,
was
be
an
small
international
boy.
school by the mining company.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so then after the international school, obviously you went to St. Augustine's College. Was that something you earlier on wanted to go to, or that's something that came to you and then you just fell into
So
it?
I wanted to go to St. Augustine's College, but there was a man. So our community was it was a close knit community. So we were just a few blacks in the community, and so everybody checked up on each other. So my friends' parents were my parents, so they would check up on you, and
Wow.
and sometimes when your results from school comes, your report comes, they want to know who they are, how you faring in school and
Yeah.
all that. So there was this man who went to Butchie,
Infante
Pim,
Pim, yeah.
sorry, Infante Pim, and wanted me to go to Infante Pim so bad because I was a good student.
Yeah.
Wanted me to go to Infante Pim so much that he took one weekend out and drove me all the way to Cape Coast
Jeez.
to see Infante Pim. And when I didn't go to Infante Pim, it was a bit disappointing. But I'd always wanted to go to St. Augustine's College. I had a good time there. I have, beautiful memories. And I believe that my education at St. Augustine's College has also shaped, me to be what I am. Because as soon as we are sharp.
You know, you
Sure.
Bob. As soon as you mentioned Butcher, I almost had a heart
attack.
Yeah. I can't stand those
You
guys.
guys almost lost me.
Oh, that would
to-
have been very, very bad. I mean, you have no idea. I have friends, very close friends, who went to Butcher, and it's one banter that will never
They would
ever
never
move
end.
away,
We
right?
used to call them Dolu, but that's not good. That's not
Really?
nice. That's so nice.
That's incredible. So you graduated Augusto in 2002.
Yeah.
And during that time, what was something you were very, very passionate about, or was something you were involved in?
I've always been passionate about the creatives, and even when I was young, in our community, I used to organize parties and
Hey.
events for my friends. I used to do pool parties. It was
Okay,
just something that I
okay.
enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
I'm able to bring people together very easily, and so even those days I was like the gang leader. Like whatever I do, everybody wants to be a
Wow.
part of. And in St. Augustine's College, I was also part of the cultural group. I was part of was it DDW?
DDWC.
DDW.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a leader in that. I used to be part of the singing group. So I've always been a creative. I've always been, a creative.
So DDWC is Drama Debaters and Writers Club.
Yeah.
I became the vice president of
Oh,
that
you
organization.
did?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
So I loved acting. I was in the drama club.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. And then I became pro drama
Right.
as well.
Right.
So it's good to see that you experienced that. So I was doing a little bit of research, right? And then I stumbled upon something that I didn't know about you, right? And maybe it's because, I hadn't been exposed to you as much, that you used to be called Kojo Rana.
Yeah, I used to be part of the boy band Runner.
Okay.
I used to sing. I told you I was singing in
Yeah.
St. Augustine's College, and I enjoyed that stage of my life. And
Yeah.
I think that it's also one of the things that makes me a very good producer for events, because I understand, I can get into the mind of the musician, and
Yeah.
I know what the musician wants or requires on stage, and I'm able to also produce a good performance because I've been there.
Yeah.
And I understand this.
So all three of you went to St. Augustine's
We
College.
all did, yeah. And
Okay.
we're all part of the
DDWC.
Yeah.
There you go. So Rana, I was a huge fan of Rana growing up, right?
Right.
I listened to the music and everything. So when I saw the video, I was like, you look awfully familiar, right? So that it was really cool kind of
Yeah, I
seeing
did,
that.
yeah.
Was there a reason why you didn't think that was a career that you wanted to really pursue long term?
So I always tell people that I have music in me. I will always my music will always be part of my journey, because I produce events and I still have musicians performing.
Yep.
I might not be be doing music full time, like I used to do before. But I believe that I'm still contributing to the craft, and then also I believe that in future I might go into management or something.
Okay.
I think that I would love to get a very good artist and probably manage them.
So there you have it. If you're ever looking to blow up your music career, you know who to go to.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you're ever gonna make a comeback as far as
No,
music
no,
is.
no,
is
no, no, no.
Okay.
My time.
Is the voice still there though?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
That's awesome. So, what would you say is one lesson that you learned throughout that experience that still shapes the way you pursue business today?
I think you should make every experience educational. Every experience counts. Everything we go through in life prepares us for the next stage of our life. So never discount anything, whether good or bad. It's all part of your story.
Beautiful. All right. So, Carbon AV, right? Tell me a little bit about it. What do you do, and what is the major focus for Carbon AV and what you're doing right now?
So Carbon AV is an agency. We produce and manage events. We also a creative agency as well. We also produce it's the mother company for all the things that we do. We don't talk about it as much because we service corporate clients with Carbon AV. EMY Africa is more out there because of the awards and the magazine. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, I mean, that being an agency in of itself, I ran an agency. I know how hard it can be certain times. What has been some lessons that you've learned and something that you can tell a young entrepreneur who wants to get into that space as far as advice?
So I would say that it's a journey. Success is a journey. You just don't achieve success overnight. So you need to keep building, try and be as consistent as possible. I've been behind so many incredible things that a lot of people don't even know that I was behind. But all those things built me to who I am today. I'm also one person who is very stubborn about my vision and my dreams. And so, irrespective of all the challenges that I encounter, I don't let that derail me. So I learn from all these challenges that I encounter, and I come back strong. I've done some incredible stuff. I mean, before I started Carbon AV, I used to be with an events management company or another agency that was owned by my uncle at the time. So I created the Legends and Legacy Ball, which honored Daddy Lumba and Amachi Dede.
Wow.
And Kojo Soboh. It was at the time the most talked about event. I remember the first event, I created a double-decker stage, and I had a lot of resistance from the people in my office. It's not possible, we can't do it. But we were able to do it. And it was a talk of town for that. We didn't have social media at the time. But
wow.
That event where we had Nana Kunido Ajima Rawlings and ex-president Rawlings, may his soul rest in perfect peace. We also had ex-president Kofo. They shared a dance, and it was all over. It was world news.
Wow.
At the time. So I mean, I've done some incredible stuff. I think that after that event, I did a ticket that played the voice of Amachi Dede. I've done some incredible stuff, and I believe that all those things have shaped me into who I am and what I will, also become. I think it's a journey, so we need to understand. Some of the youth now think that you can just achieve great things just by snapping your finger. It's not like that. You need to build, and some of the things you can achieve, you achieve them through experience. And so they need to bid their time.
And one of the things I really admire is you're just having that vision, right? Having those ideas to be able to even execute, because I'm sure a lot of people would love to have those ideas, but I guess my question to you is, where do those ideas come from? Where does that vision comes from fundamentally?
It just comes to me. I told you my my early beginnings and what I was exposed to. I'm just a creative. It's things that I think
It's
about.
natural.
It's natural, and I think one of my my talents is also how I'm able to execute. So I just don't think about it, but I'm able to execute. A lot of people are just dreamers, but you need to move. You need to move further by daring and then doing it. And so one of the three of the words that I live by is dream, dare, do, and I always say it, and everybody knows that it's my tagline. I always when I do a pose or when I have to give a speech, and I took these words from one of my professors from school, who always encouraged us to dream, dare, and do, and I've always held onto that. So you just don't dream. Just you dream as big as you can, but the most important thing is to dare, and then do them.
I like it. I love that. I think that's something that even personally for me, I can take, right?
Yeah.
So, and I say this all the time, a lot of people have great ideas, but the
Absolutely.
difference between someone who is successful and someone who is not is someone who doesn't give up on their dreams or doesn't just keep those ideas as ideas.
You
They
can
take
imagine how
action.
many dreams and ideas at the graveyard.
A lot.
People were afraid to.
Yeah. Fear. I think fear stops a lot of people from
Absolutely,
pursuing some of those. So, with EMY Africa and EMY Magazine, with what you're doing, also just in general, I see that there seems to be some passion about Africa, right? What is inspiring you to kind of grow the aspect of that, even with the awards? And what do you want to do with it? Like, why is that important to you in general?
Okay, so I believe that one of the most important catalysts for success is inspiration. And in our side of the world, we don't have a lot of it. A lot of accomplished people, a lot of successful people like to stay in the comfort of their little corner and don't tell their stories.
Yes.
I believe that we owe it to the youth to inspire them by telling the stories, what we went through, and to be able to become what we have become today. We have a lot of successful people in Ghana and across Africa. And Africa is endowed with a lot of resources, natural resources, a lot of intelligent, great people who have done incredibly well. Growing up, we used to read about Warren Buffett and all those great people who have done great things from the West. And so we have been brainwashed to think that you can only become successful by going to the West. And so our youth, who are strong, who are talented, will go through perilous journeys to be able to get to the West just to make peanuts. Meanwhile, the people we are going to, the West, they come here for the wealth. So it is important that we tell these great success stories of people who have made it, stayed here, made it, so that our youth will have confidence in our continent, and that's what drives me. And we always say at EMO Africa that we need to celebrate, African greatness to inspire greatness. That's what we do. So from our awards to our magazine, we tell authentic African stories, so that young people will pick up the magazine, would watch the EMO Africa Awards on TV, and like, I can also make it because this guy made it. This guy came from Choco and has made it. This guy came from somewhere in the West.
Bogoso.
Yes, Bogoso. And is doing incredible stuff. Those
Yeah.
stories are very, very, very important. And we don't just tell the stories of the people we celebrate at our awards or we write about in our magazine, but we do it and do it quintessentially. We do it with at the highest standard. So it's not just the stories of the people that should inspire you, but the sheer execution. You watch the event, the EMO Africa Awards, and you're like, wow, this was produced here. Wow. We think about every aspect of our events, and challenge people to not just dream, they do, but do it and do it excellently.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is incredible because I strongly believe in just the African continent and the talent,
Yeah.
right, in the
You
African
have
continent.
incredible talent
Yes,
in Africa.
yes. I mean, even for our agency, we outsource here to Ghana,
Yeah.
right, because of just the sheer talent of people within the community. And so I respect that you're doing that. And I always tell people back in Texas, I say, you don't know that the richest black man in the world is African,
It is. Yeah.
right? So, there's a lot of people who want to look down on, the things
They
that
think
we're
that
doing
still
here.
living in trees and animals are walking on our streets.
Yes, yes. And those who thought,
that's what the Western media always
Yeah.
pushes.
Yes.
And when they have to talk about Africa, we still have the image of coming to America, and that has to change.
yeah. And it's not like you're overstretching,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I've literally encountered people who think we don't have shoes
I know,
here.
yeah, I know.
So it's very mind boggling.
Yeah.
And I think that being able to showcase some of these stories is important, and I love that you're
Yeah.
doing that. And I'm sure you're going to keep doing it, on a
Yeah,
bigger
by
scale.
the grace of God.
Yeah, as we go. So I appreciate you for sharing that. So is there a personal belief when it comes to leadership that keeps you going? Because I'm sure, you manage all these events, you put together all these wonderful sets that you talked about, upper decker, lower decker, stage that I've never even probably seen before. What is your personal belief on leadership in general?
I think that to be a leader, you need to also be a servant. A lot of leaders would sit up there and then would expect people to just do the work. I believe as a leader, you need to understand what you're in and be able to execute. So for me, as a leader, I understand my work and I can also execute. So I understand the ins and the outs of my business. So when I get you in, I have an expectation of you, and I understand the work you're doing. So we can't fail because I know what to expect, from you, and you can't hold me to ransom because if you're not there, I can still do the work.
That's right.
And so I think that some leaders must also learn to get their hands dirty because when you come to projects that I'm managing, you see me, on the field also participating in what we are doing. And I think that is also motivation for all the people that will be working with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. So you believe in like strongly being out there, putting in the work.
Yeah.
And I see it.
Yeah.
I've seen all the recent production you did.
Yeah.
You're on the ground, just putting in the work. So
Yeah.
that reflects. It's literally reflective
Yeah, and
of what you're
especially
saying.
here in Africa, if you don't closely monitor, people will just mess you up.
I've heard a lot
I
of-
think that very soon people would get it, but now, with the level of with our level of execution, a lot of people can't comprehend, and so you need to closely monitor, so that you're able to deliver at the level that we deliver. It's very stressful, but I believe that with time, as we are trying to inspire greatness, a lot of people will be at par with the level of our standards and and then you don't have to be closely monitoring like we do now.
Yeah. So I mean, you seem to have a lot of items set. So the expectations you have, all of that.
Yes.
How do you define success, like as a personal thing for you?
So for me, success, especially with my project, is doing a project that I can market after the event. That even is more important to me than the money that I'm going to make. So, for instance, if I do EMY Africa Awards, it should be so good that I can market it. The event can keep growing. I always tell people that you don't have to eat the chicken that lays the golden egg. You need to keep feeding it because that is the chicken that's going to keep laying that egg, that is going to, keep feeding you.
Yeah.
So for me, the project is more important to me than the money that I'm going to get because once the project keeps going, once the project comes out well, you keep getting jobs, you keep doing well, you keep getting opportunities, which which would ensure your longevity.
Yeah.
But here, a lot of people want instant gratification, or a lot of people want to cash out almost immediately. And so when maybe they get sponsorship for an event, or they get opportunity to manage projects, they want to squeeze all the money out of it, and they don't do a good job. So yes, you'll get money today, but nobody will call you again.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about putting out a good work that is marketable, that you can explore for the future. As for the money, it will come. I mean, for me, I don't chase money. I believe that when you do good work, money will chase you.
And I strongly agree. I strongly agree. Focus on just executing and
a
executing
great
well.
work, yeah.
And then once you do that, people will start recognizing you for what you're doing.
Absolutely. And sometimes you do good work that a lot of people chase you. Sometimes you just have to tell people that I'm not available, because you have too much work.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, so we've kind of dived into a lot of it, right? And I want to take a quick break to just simply ask just a this or that question, right? Being someone who appreciates creativity, music, and just producing in general, I kind of want to do a kind of pick one question, just as just an icebreaker, right? So I have a few names that you have to choose, right? I see the smile. So, I'm going to start off with just, 2 names, and then I'm going to ask you to pick the one after that, who you like. So would you rather choose Kwame Eugene or Stone Boy?
Don't put me into trouble.
It's a personal preference.
I think I like they both bring different things, and I think that they've all done well in their own. All right, so I'm not picking one. Stoneboy is a
no. I have a whole list.
I'll probably go with Stoneboy. Stoneboy is our current Man of the Year.
Okay.
He won Man of the Year music. Man of the Year music for EMO Africa.
Oh wow.
Last year. So yeah.
Stoneboy or Shatawale?
Stoneboy.
Stoneboy or Kim Promise?
I like them both.
You like them both?
Yeah.
Them both or Kitty? He's gonna say all 3 of them.
I loved Kitty. I love Kitty, but I loved him even more when he performed at the EMO Africa Awards last year.
Oh, he did.
And I like the way he was committed to the craft. I like the way he allowed himself to be produced for an excellent performance.
Yeah.
On the EMO Africa Awards. And I believe that if every artist would allow themselves to be produced, sometimes some of our artists feel too big to even come for rehearsal. They feel too big to be produced.
Really?
But please, Beyonce is even produced.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I believe that if we want to grow as an industry, if our artists want to grow, they need to allow themselves to be produced and for them to have excellent stage performances. And so, yeah, I love Kiddy's music. I love Lomo Lomo so much. And one of the things that I love about him is what I experienced at the EMO Africa Awards last year. And because of that, his performance was top notch. So I love the 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from the way you're speaking, you speak from seeing that these people carry some excellence with their work.
Yeah.
Right? Because you value excellence.
I value excellence. It's excellence or nothing.
Yeah. I love that. Who do you think is the greatest musician of all time in Ghana?
I wouldn't pick one, but I think that some of them are doing incredibly well.
Like who?
I love some of them for different reasons. I love Stoneboy because I think that Stoneboy he's
you can say genius,
and he's a darer. Like Stoneboy is going out there to push his craft, even with his own resources. I see the young man going from one country to the other, doing collaborations, putting Ghanaian music out there.
Yep.
So I love Stone for that reason, for the fact that he doesn't settle. Whether support comes from investors or not, you see Stone going out there working. I admire Stone for that. I also admire Kiddy, as I told you.
Yeah.
I love his music. I love his style. But I also love the fact that I don't know what what experiences others have of him.
Yeah.
But for what I had with EMY, I admire him for allowing himself to be produced.
Yep.
Even to what he wore on the
Oh, wow.
stage. Is very admirable to me. And with that attitude, you go far.
Yeah.
I also love King Promise. I think he's also pushing. I admire his creativity and his music. Yeah. Who else?
I'm personally a huge fan of Black Sheriff.
I love Black Sheriff as
Yeah,
well. I love
yeah.
Black Sheriff. I think Black Sheriff is a natural star.
Yeah. I agree.
He's just
I
a
agree.
star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kojo, you were part of the RNAQ production. I believe this was like the biggest production I have seen of any celebration, right? You know, personally. I found it so impressive, right? I was seeing all the videos and all the even the guests that were present at this event, and a fully 100% Ghanaian production.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it, because I think this blew the minds of so many people across the continent.
Right. I think that this event has made is news around the world, and it's for good reason. This production, when I was called to be part of it, I was like, wow, this is very audacious. And I am very audacity just turns me on.
Yeah.
And so when my brother Richie reached out to me and said, hey, my chairman says that he wants to celebrate his birthday in grand style. He wants to make a statement. And you're one of the people that I think I can work with in order for us to be able to achieve a great event. I was like, okay, let me hear it. And so he told me about about what his chairman wanted us to do. And then, of course, we came together. So it was Richie, myself, and then Baba. We met. We brainstormed, and then we, came up with the blueprint for the event. And then we also called excellent vendors. Who would we're going to fill all the places where we wanted them to fill.
Yeah.
So we took about 22 days to build. It was at the Independence Square.
Yes.
And so we built from the ground. There was nothing there. So 22 days, it was really stressful. But then we had we call ourselves the Avengers. So we were up to the task, and I am very, very happy about the outcome. But I always say that Richie is one of the young people in the entertainment in Ghana that I really respect. I respect his mind. He is as diligent as I am. And I know he has the same respect for me. I mean, we always tell each other how much we respect each other. And I believe that the collaboration with me and Richie and Baba is going to do a lot of things here in Ghana. And this is just the beginning. Mm-hmm. This project is just the beginning. The collaboration is just something that I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
And the energy is also really great, and so we are definitely partnering on a lot of projects.
Yeah.
And it's just upwards from here.
Yeah. I think when I saw everything, it was more like this is a masterclass on how to put together a very, very good event.
Yeah. I've always been a champion of that everything about the event should be thought through to the T.
Yeah.
So how people are arriving, how they are parking, security, people entering. What we produced at the Independence Square was just simply genius, because we were planning an event for over 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. And so we had to do a build that would feel intimate, but can still take that number of people. And so we decided to create different chambers, but the different chambers can easily be accessed because we created tunnels through, and then the front of the space was also open, so you could also move freely. And then each of the chambers also had their own entrance, had their own red carpet. That was just purely for crowd control, but it was done beautifully.
Yeah.
So it was many weeks of thinking about this project, fine tuning it, and it was put together by some of the finest brains. I mean, young brains in the entertainment industry, and we are really proud of what we achieved. We had a lot of challenges, from the weather to it. It was crazy.
Was there some point within the production where you felt like, is this going to be real? Is this going to happen?
So the Thursday before the event, it rained heavily.
Yeah.
And so we had some of our stuff, falling apart. And then we spent the whole night putting it together. And then on Friday, after we had set everything up and we had gone to the hotel, so I went to the hotel, taking my bath. I just hit the bed and they called me again that it was raining. I was like, you guys are not serious. So I didn't even mind them. I just slept. When I woke up in the morning, the things had scattered. Saturday morning, so we had to call reinforcements, call more labor boys. What you saw there.
And the event was Saturday evening.
That evening, yes. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I mean, we kept telling ourselves that we were doing a great thing. And any great thing comes with a lot of opposition, comes with a lot of challenges.
Yep.
But because of the positive attitude that we had, because of the spirit of the great spirit of collaboration that we had as a team, we were able to surmount all these challenges. And I made a post about this project, and I was like, one of the greatest things that our industry needs is collaboration.
Yes,
because
I agree.
Competition is not going to take us anywhere. We operate in very little in our own very little corners and do very little things. But if we come together as a collective, the things we can do is incredible. Once we come together with great energy, with positive energy, without unnecessary bickering and enviness, and just complement each other, because I can never be Richie can never be me.
Yeah.
Richie can have incredible ideas. I can have incredible ideas. Baba is phenomenal with a creative mind. Is just mind blowing. I mean, when I think of anything, I just call Baba. Baba, I want to do this. Just go, just send it to me. And then, so if you look at our Instagram, I see some great things. I send it to Baba. Baba also sends something to me, and that's how we work. And so I think that once we collaborate, that we can do incredible things. And this is a testament of collaboration.
I 100% agree with you. And I think this is, like you said, a masterclass for people to see that if you collaborate and you collaborate well, you can achieve great things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I have to put hats off to you guys. I think this will be the talk of the century.
Oh, it is. It
right?
is. And hats up to Mr. Richard Niamakwe for having such audacity to be able to want to do an event like this, and trusting us, to produce such a massive project. Yeah. And believing that 100% Ghanaian crew can produce this event. You have no idea what this event has done for the Ghanaian entertainment economy. Yep. Down to the dispatch rider who distributed the invitation boxes. Wow. And so we need more of these things. Yes. Just to challenge the system and to let people know that we can do it. I mean, this statement has been made that no matter how big the event is, no matter how big the project is, there are Ghanaians who can do it. Yeah, yes, I agree. Trust us. We can do it. Yeah, and hopefully we can get some more, more of these, more of people daring. And I would say that usually when these big projects come, they go and bring people from South Africa or people from the West to come and produce it. But guess what? When they come, they use a Ghanaian crew, and the Ghanaians basically do the work, and they will take the glory and the money away. But you can trust that young people who can here with brilliant minds who can do it. You just have to trust us and give us the necessary resources, and we'll execute it for you.
Yeah. So Kojo for Minister of Entertainment or something. Maybe we can.
I don't dabble in politics. So
But no, we like you said, we need more young people really daring in the spotlight and getting some of these things done. So hats off to you guys. Great job, and I absolutely loved everything.
Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. So, and I know I want to kind of have just a few more questions, right? With everything you're doing, you know, really, really exciting projects, EMY, you know, obviously Carbon AV is a parent company. Is there anything you're setting your eyes on as far as future projects for you?
I think that if you've followed the EMY Africa brand, we keep growing. Every year we grow. Every year we do new things. We are 10 this year, you know, thanks be to God. And it's not been a walk in the park. But we started as a small awards event, but our vision was big. Yeah. We started the event in Ghana, but we still called it EMY Africa Awards. The first year we just honored Ghanaians. Second year we brought in a few Africans, and since then we are honoring Africans. So majority of our winners are obviously from Ghana, but every year we have about 2, 3, 4, or 5 personalities from across Africa joining us and winning awards. And apart from that, we've also expanded. We've introduced the EMY Africa Expo, which we started in 2017, but we realized that let's just focus on the awards, and then once we've built a very solid brand, we'll come back to it. And we realized last year that we had built a solid brand, so we came back to the Expo. And last year's Expo was massive. So, you know, after honoring great personalities from across Africa, we felt that it was important to spotlight businesses and services that are doing great. And the Expo was a success, and we're doing it again this year. We also started a series of travel activations. We realized that EMY is a great brand. It's a premium, excellent brand that tells the African story. And so we need to take it out. We need to take it out, let the world know about our brand and also about what we stand for, and also tell the African story like they do, because they also bring their content here.
Oh yeah.
So let's also take it to them.
Yeah.
And so we did Lagos. Last year we did London. We did a symposium with London School of Economics, and also we did a soiree in London, which was a massive success.
Wow.
And then so that's what we did last year. This year, for our 10th anniversary, we are doing an event in South Africa. We are going back to Nigeria, and then we're also doing a symposium with New York University, and then we are back in London with London School of Economics, and then our soiree, and then we're also doing the Expo, and then the awards in November. So it's a very packed year for us. Yeah. But it's our 10th, and we have to do it. Hopefully you can be over there in Texas. There's a huge Ghanaian community in Houston, and I know maybe next year. Yeah. But this year we wanted to. New York is a very iconic city. I know they get all the love every single time. So we picked New York. But I mean, if you have to come to the US next year, then we'll probably have to pick another states, either LA or Texas. We still look at me pitching Texas over here. Okay, beautiful. So Kojo, the final question I have for you in this is, the name of this podcast is Mind of a Genius, right? And so I believe everyone has a different classification of who a genius is, or who they can consider a genius in their craft. For you, what does being a genius mean to you? I think that being a genius is, your work is doing work that can inspire other people, doing work that can challenge other people to come out of their shell, to also dream, to want to be something. So whatever I'm working, whenever I'm doing anything, I have that at the back of my mind, that somebody watching should be inspired. Somebody watching should want to dream, would want to be something bigger than they currently are. And so a genius is somebody who's able to do work that inspires greatness.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kojo, for
Thank
taking
you.
time out of your busy day
Thank you.
to
Thank you
be
for
on
having
here
me.
with me. I really, really appreciate your time. And guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've watched all the way to this point, thank you. This is Mind of a Genius. We are in Ghana. And this is Kojo, a 100% huge genius. So, Kojo, if someone wanted to find you on social media, what are your handles?
Those is Kojo, KOJ_SOBOH. That is on Instagram. I think it's across all the social media networks.
Okay. All
So
right.
KOJ_SOBOH.
All right. Beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Keep subscribing, keep sharing, and we will see you on the next episode. So, peace out.